Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Voyager class Prime Universe Bulkhead from the new Transformers Legacy line from Hasbro. This is my first official Legacy release found out in the wild. I mean, yes, technically Lift Ticket was marked as Legacy, but the packaging wasn't really like this. And Blaster kind of bridges the gap between Kingdom and Legacy, but this is my first Legacy release actually found at a store. I lucked out and found this at my local Target, and I am very excited. I love this new style of packaging. I love the color scheme, everything about it. It's really, really fun. Well, almost everything about it. I don't love the completely open packaging here, just because, you know, you can get inside to the toy, which I don't really appreciate. Kind of wish there was still that little bit of... I'm all for reducing the amount of plastic. I really am. But just the tiniest little window of plastic there is really all I'm asking for. But again, packaging really, really cool. Love the artwork here on the front. Love this on the side with kind of the close-up of the figure and then a really cool picture of them down below. Over on this side, we kind of have our new like art mural. We got Prime, we got Hot Rod, we got RC. I think that's Blaster. It doesn't quite look like him, but I'm pretty sure that's him. And then here's Bulkhead. I'm wondering if there's going to be like a separate Decepticon one. I'll have to wait and see when I actually find a Decepticon in this packaging. Kind of like how Cyberverse does it, but we'll have to wait and see. On the back here, we got the robot mode, we got the vehicle mode, and this is Prime Universe Bulkhead, but kind of reimagined as just kind of like a G1 character. Like, he doesn't have that same stylized look that Prime had, but it's that character from the Prime universe. Legacy's going to kind of span the gap of different universes and series throughout the year, so that's kind of cool. Not really anything going on the bottom there, and on the top just has the Legacy logo. So I'm really excited for this one. I'm going to go ahead, get him out of the box here, and we'll take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging. He looks really sharp. I think they did a really nice job with this. Very clean robot mode. He doesn't really have any kibble hanging off him. He's got this little wheel section right behind the head, but that's really not a big deal. It is almost completely hollow in the torso, though, as you can see. And you can see it if I tilt like this as well. It's not a big deal when you're looking at him straight on. He still looks bulky and imposing, but it is almost completely hollow in the torso there. But I love the head sculpt. They did such a good job with this. I mean, he's known for that massive underbite, and it just makes him ooze so much character. Really nice metallic blue there for the eyes. Head's on a ball joint. Can't really look up that much. Can look down a little bit. Can't really tilt side to side, but can certainly look side to side, no problem. Shoulders, of course, you have a swivel here, as well as a hinge. Now, this is connected into the side, and sometimes it comes unpegged, but it should stay. But anyway, you got a swivel, you got a hinge, you got a bicep swivel there. Really tight elbow joints, but you can see that you get even more than 90 degrees, which is nice. You have a wrist swivel here. You do have a waist swivel, probably a little bit lower than you would expect, but he does have one. Really nice range of motion in the hips. You can kick all the way out to the front. You can kick all the way out to the back. Pretty much all the way out to the side. No issues there. You do have a thigh swivel. It's kind of hidden, which is neat because it's inside here, so from the front you don't see it. There's no cut or anything, but you absolutely still have it. 90 degrees there in the knee, and then of course you have an ankle tilt. So really sharp, love the color scheme. Kind of wish the Autobot symbol was a little bit larger, but not a big deal. But all in all, paint applications look great. Really nice range of motion. Really clean robot mode. I like it quite a bit. Now he does come, whoops, as I knock him around, as he does come with a number of accessories here. He's got this little kind of Gatling gun. And I guess the gimmick this year is going to be like translucent plastic, and then they kind of paint over top of it. So it's like got a little bit of gunmetal gray painted over top of this translucent blue. I guess translucent weapons is just the gimmick for Legacy this year. I mean, I don't really need it, but okay, fine. I guess that's what we're doing. So you have a couple options with this. He can just kind of hold it in his hand if you want, which is nice. But he's also got these two pegs on the side, and he's got these two little peg holes up here. So if you want to go ahead and give it to him as like a shoulder-mounted cannon, you can do that as well, which is kind of cool. He's also got this, which is definitely one of my favorite accessories. It's like a wrecking ball attachment. You open this up, this part just pegs right into his fist, and then you just close it back up over top, and now it looks like he's transformed his hand into a wrecking ball. It sits really flush. It's perfect. I really love this. And it's got ports on it, so if you wanted to connect crazy stuff to it, you could. I like this a lot. I really, really like that accessory. And then, of course, he's got his like riot shield / canopy for the vehicle mode. You have a couple options with this. You do have a peg here, but you also have this little peg that can kind of swivel out. So, of course, you could attach it to the peg hole on his forearm if you wanted. If you wanted something like this. The directions kind of have you clipping this in. So you could do it this way. You could spin this around and put the peg this way. And then, there we go, get it to swing back around. And then kind of like attach it to his forearm like this. And that way you could kind of bring these in so it doesn't take up as much space. That's an option. You actually can, it's a little difficult, but if you swing this back around this way, you can kind of drop this into his fist. Let me see if I can get this, because these really do kind of get in the way, but you can kind of drop this into the fist and then kind of angle it down a little bit if you want him to kind of hold it straight out like that. Or the directions show you, which I think is really fun. You can go ahead and peg it straight into the wrecking ball accessory like this, and then that way he can kind of hold it out as a shield with some distance. So that's really cool. You got a lot of nice options there for the Riot Shield. If you don't want to use it at all, of course, you can just put it off to the side, or you can peg it in right here to this small little peg right here. So let me go ahead, and this can be a little challenging to do, but then he can just kind of wear it on his back as a backpack. So you got a lot of options with the Riot Shield, which is really, really cool. So I like that a lot. I love the accessories he comes with. The gun's cool. Again, I don't need it to be translucent blue. I absolutely love the Wrecking Ball hand attachment. And I like the Riot Shield as well, because you have a lot of options with it. So all in all, great robot mode, really great accessories. Alright, so getting into his transformation, if you want, you can take the Riot Shield off if you feel like it's easier to transform him without it and just kind of put it back on towards the end. That's up to you. But you're going to kind of start by lifting this up. Just kind of have that hang out there like that. You want to bring the shoulders down a little bit so that they kind of unpeg. So that way we're free to move this midsection, which you kind of unpeg and then pop up. And you kind of have to like move it around the shoulder pieces, and you can kind of bring it up to about there. You're going to bring this all the way back, so that way you can bring the head down, and that will kind of situate right there. And that will also give you clearance to bring this flap piece here up to fill the gap right there like that. At this point, you're going to swivel the arms down, kind of put them straight up like so. These two pieces here are going to peg into each other, so they will snap together like so. And then you're going to put the arms all the way down like this. And then this is going to come down. Let me make sure I have this perfectly situated here, so that this way this can come down. Actually, you know what? I don't have these arms up. There we go. I knew something was off. So you can tuck them in a little bit more. And then this will come down and clip over top of them, and you can kind of hear it snap into place. Oh, I accidentally. Sometimes I do that. I have to admit that it is a little annoying, that it's easy to accidentally push that flap in, and then there's really no way to push it back up without taking the whole thing apart. So click that into place, and then make sure you don't accidentally push down on that piece right there. At this point, you're going to flip this section up, this little black section right here, and then this whole section here is going to pop up, which can be a little difficult. There we go. So now you have that all kind of, you know, de-accordioned out, if that's a word. It's probably not. We're going to come down to the legs, spin around to the back. You can go ahead and fold up the toes like so and just kind of leave them down. You're going to open up these sections like so, and then you can see that there's this little gray piece inside that's on a little ball joint, and you're going to swivel this out, swivel it around, and then bring it down. And then that's going to peg into the side of the like thigh, I guess, but not quite yet. So we can close that back up, open this up, pop out this little gray piece, swivel it around, and then kind of bring it down and close this back up. So at this point, we have to bring the legs up. Hold on, this way. Bring them down, actually. Kind of like he's sitting down if he was still in robot mode. And then you're going to bend at the knee. And then this section, you have to continuously like bend out of the way. I think that's supposed to go back one more time, but we'll let it sit there for now. Yeah, you have to do it one more time, otherwise it gets in the way of the legs. So this is going to go up one more time. Come on, click into place for me. There we go. Oh, I forgot to do this part. So this drops down And then these just split apart and just peg in to the back. I don't know what purpose these serve. I really don't. Because they just sit here in the... I guess maybe there was like an empty space they wanted to fill when the canopy closes down. That's the only thing I can think of. Because they sit back here in robot mode and then they just sit here in vehicle mode. They're not even wheels. They look like wheels, but they're not. So I don't know what that's about. But anyway, there is a tiny little tab right here on the thigh. So this is going to come and there's a tab right there. And so that's going to tab into that tab slot like so. And you're going to do the same thing over here on this one. Just bring this down and tab it in. There we go. Then we're going to peg the two legs together like so. And then this whole section is going to lift up. So there's these two tiny little tabs right here. And then there's these two little tabs right here. And they will peg into here, 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 and here. Now these ones I don't think really like snap in peg. They just kind of like lightly, just to kind of line it up. But these two here will kind of peg in. Now before you do that, if you want, you can actually store the weapons in this section. So you can bring the gun in and tab that in right there. You can bring the wrecking ball attachment. You have to make sure you use one of the sides that has the hole drilled all the way because it won't work on one of these side ones. But you can go ahead and peg this on right here. And then you can just kind of bring this all up. And then this will kind of tab in. And it's a little difficult to line up sometimes, I have to admit. But get that in there. And... why can't I find that one? There we go. Come on, you. I swear I can do this. Where am I missing it? There we go. Okay, now that's tabbed in. And then you're going to just kind of fold these down, and you can see that these also have a tab, and there's a little tab slot right there. So you're just going to bring this down and tab that into there. There we go. And then you can flip up the feet. You can see they also have tiny little tabs and tab slots. It doesn't really like snap in. Again, it's just to kind of keep it in place, but it kind of tabs in lightly. And there you go. There is your vehicle mode. I like this quite a bit. I think this is really, really cool. Rolls decently. It feels like it definitely like pitches forward, but it still rolls pretty well. And I love that you can keep all of the accessories inside. I think that's really, really cool as well. If you really wanted to, you could bring these back down, and if you wanted to take the accessories out, which I guess I'd have to kind of lift this off to do. So we'll just take this off real quick so I can remove the accessories. And then I can close this back up. There we go. You kind of have like a little bit of cargo room in there. Maybe you could fit like a Micromaster or a Titan's Return figure or something like that. If you wanted to use him as like a super tiny troop transport or something like that, you do have a decent amount of space in there, as you can see. So that's an option as well. You can use it to either store the accessories, or if you wanted to kind of, you know, put a couple super tiny figures in there, you could probably fit one or two. But yeah, I really like the vehicle mode. I think it's pretty cool. And it's not too difficult of a transformation, especially once you do it once or twice. The directions are not super clear about how the crotch area works, though. Like, I had to kind of figure out that this black piece had to extend all the way there, because the directions don't really show you. They just kind of show you bringing the legs down, and then they're just like, tuck it in. And it's like, okay, but then where does this piece go? Like, I didn't know if it was supposed to go sandwiched between the legs, but then that didn't really work. And so I just kind of figured this out, and maybe this is wrong, but I think it's right because it's the only place it really makes sense for it to go. And it works. He looks great. I mean, you know, some of the main elements really carried over. He's got that wrecking ball arm, which really works well. He's got that massive underbite that he's really known for. The head sculpt looks absolutely fantastic. They really nailed it there. So I like him a lot. I think he's a lot of fun. Color scheme's great. Paint application's very sharp. Transformation, a little difficult at first, really only because the directions are a little weird and hard to interpret. But once you do it once or twice, it's really not a big deal. I love the accessories that he comes with. That wrecker ball arm is fantastic. A lot of options for the riot shield. I like that a lot. I like the little Gatling gun. I don't really need it to be translucent plastic. I guess that's the gimmick this year, that everything's translucent blue or other translucent colors. But I don't know. For me, I could have just, a normal gun accessory would have been... I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I guess we'll see. I think some of the other accessories will probably work more or less than this one, but for the most part, I love all the accessories. I really like the figure. I don't really have much negative to say about him. I definitely recommend picking him up when you can. Like I said, I just walked into my local Target and got lucky. He was there on the shelf. He was the only one that they had. They had more than one of him, but he was the only character they had. So this line will kind of start to trickle out now. I mean, with new lines, this is kind of how it always starts. One here, one there, then all of a sudden the shelves are clogged and pegs are clogged with them, so we'll see how it goes. But when you can get a hold of this guy, I definitely recommend checking him out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.